back, everyone, to Spooky Japan podcast. Well, today we have a very special guest. We have Ron and Dawn from the Ghost Whisperers. How are you guys?
Hi. Good.
Great. How are you, ladies?
We're doing pretty good. It's kind of, I don't know how the weather is there, but it's been raining here. I'm in Nagasaki, Japan. It was raining yesterday. It's forecast today. Irene's in Tokyo, and she said there's forecast today.
It's overcast.
Overcast? Okay.
It looks.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Overcast. Yeah.
We have fun Michigan weather, It's right now it's bright clear skies, but earlier it was like doom and gloom looking.
Overcast.
Yeah.
It changes
Yeah.
hourly here.
One of the places that we were mentioning that we're going to talk about is the Masonic Lodge in Brookston, Indiana.
Yes. So that place is super special. We found out about it through you. There's a really great guy named Matt that owns this lodge. It was built in 1848. It was moved in 1856 from Pittsburgh, Indiana to Brookston, Indiana, where it was used as a lodge. But we haven't found at what year it ended. I know it was sometime in the 1900s because it then was used for a paper storage facility, and then it was now being used as their appliance business. But the owner started noticing different paranormal activity happening there, and he was reaching out, asking teams if they wanted to come in and check it out and see if he was seeing what was real was actually real. So we weren't the first people to come and investigate, but we were the first to stay the night. And we've been going there every 2 weeks since January.
Yeah, I found him scrolling through TikTok, and I do know who you're talking about with the person who's been there because I talked to them originally because I did a TikTok on him on that location just because I felt like it was an interesting location. I had a good feeling about it, even though it's not very well known yet.
Right.
Hopefully, to me, it does have the potential to be a bigger place once more word gets out. And I did talk to that person briefly just to make sure, not that I didn't believe the owner, just to kind of verify with someone who investigates, who has a lot of other investigations, that
Right.
how haunted they felt like it was. And they felt like it was they said it was the most haunted location they had out of many locations they've been to. And I was honest, like, hey, I haven't been there, but this is what they said when I talked to you. You went out there and you had some great experiences, which I'm glad, because now that I know someone to also back that up, I'd be like, yeah, that's what I've been hearing from reputable people. It's extreme. It's very active.
It is very active. It's probably one of the most active places I've ever experienced with this location. Every time we go, it's a different haunting. We don't know what we're going to get, but we do know the spirits there at Brookston. We've made great connections, so we will go live on our Facebook and through like our spirit chat or spirit boxes, we'll get a name of the spirit. So you always ask for their last name, and the majority of the time they were giving us a person and a last name, like Adela Bostic. She came through first, and we Googled her right away, found out that her and her husband Joseph were founding members of this town and were one of the first members of this lodge. So it was like a direct connection, and we were able to go out, find their graves instantly. And we did many spirits like that where, like, really taking the time to research these people and find out their lives.
Hmm. Have you talked to who they refer to as the main man?
I think we have talked to that one a little bit. We've had some pretty intense things happen where I think the one that controls them all
Yes, that's who
does
I'm
do the
interested
bad
in.
things.
Just because I am so interested in the owners refer to this person as the main man because he seems to be the boss of all the spirits there. Like he controls who can talk to who, when they can talk. And that's the reason why I'm interested is who has this kind of power over other spirits in a haunted place?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm so interested. I think for that reason they think it's probably was an old lodge member that
Mm-hmm.
used to be there.
Do you want to comment, Ron?
Well, we're trying to figure that out as far as who the main man or the one is. We do feel like that there are spirits there that are afraid to come forward. We do have a spirit that does come through who is kind of a jerk, to put it nicely. He's the one that will tell us to leave, or he's the one that, he's just kind of argumentative, just mean. And then we have women that come through and they're asking for help. Yeah, it's really weird like that. Like it does seem like there is one, um, for lack of a better word, malevolent spirit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's putting it a little strong. But he's just a real jerk, and it does seem like the other ones come out when he's not around, and then he may come back around, and then everybody shuts up. It's
So, and they record you like we'll be in the lodge talking to each other, debriefing like in the office area, and the spirits listening to us talking, and our conversations will repeat back our conversations to us later in the night. We also get a lot of poltergeist activity. Um, we'll hear doors slamming, we hear disembodied voices a lot, growls. Um, the last time we were there, Ron actually, his leg went through a floor and the spirit asked him, "Are you okay?" So, I mean, I don't know if they like kind
that by far was my
we
most
recorded it. It was crazy.
it was my most favorite paranormal experience. I mean, I went down, and I stayed down for a minute, and we've got this 1 minute long recording from the time I went down. About 30 seconds later, Dawn's checking on me. She's freaking out. Oh my God, Ron, are you okay? And I'm just laying there. I'm like, let me sit here for a second. About
And
30
then you
seconds
get the
after that,
first EVP where
yeah,
it said, "Hey," and it was so loud and clear, but then we kept talking. But that was on the EVP part. But then the spirit box then said, "Are
are
you
you okay?
okay?" And that
So
was
yeah,
wild. I mean, there's
direct
times
contact.
where you're simply afraid because it gets like really intense. Like, we'll know that we didn't put this big motor in our walkway, but how did it get on the top of the stairway in our walkway when we walked through there 1,000 times? And it's like things like that. And you hear it, so you're running back and forth and you're hearing the furniture dragging, and yeah, it gets intense.
So my understanding with the spirits out there, for anyone who's listening in this location, Masonic Temple, Masonic Lodge are referring to, it's in Brookston, Indiana. So anyone who want to try and look it up and find there to go there. The spirits there, from what I understand, is there's a child spirit there who will play tag. You'll occasionally hear a tag, "You're it." There's supposed to be Brittany,
Mhm.
and Brittany's a witch, and there's
We
another witch there with a more raspy voice. There's the main guy we were just talking about, but there's also a male spirit that he refers to himself as the devil.
and there's also Joseph, and he's a very stern man too, especially like in the ballroom area. But there's also a soldier in there, and there's lots of soldiers that come through. One of our team members seen like a partial apparition of one just in the doorway, but from like, the waist up, and it looked like he was wearing like a suit, you know. Um, but it's on Civil War grounds and the Revolutionary War, and there was a big war with the Indians there where they massacred the soldiers and went and so it's like so much right in this little town that the activity is just so pumped up, and the town is, it's from 1856 when the town first settled.
And either
It's
the main, I forget which one it was, either the main man or the one who refers to him as the devil. And this is going to be a trigger warning to people out there probably, but whichever one threatens the owner saying, "I'm going to kill you."
yeah,
And then coincidentally that night, his wife had a miscarriage.
that's what sparked my interest. So he told me that story in January, and I was like, well, on a Wednesday, and I said, I'll be out there on Saturday. So I went out there to try to make contact with that spirit. I couldn't. So then a lot of follow up visits every 2 weeks. We started traveling back. I don't know if it was an attachment to a teddy bear that he brought home. He brought it home. He was like, oh, it's something from the lodge shortly after his wife had a miscarriage at home. So he was like, there's bad ooga booga attached to this bear. I want it back at the lodge. And
Mhm.
we do put K2 meters against the bear, or I'll put the bear in different rooms of the house. And if the bear doesn't like it, I think it does amp up the activity. If you, the ghosts do have their own attitudes there. And if you're not doing what they want, they let you know it. They're not afraid to show themselves. And I I could never say that I have seen a demon or have a demonic encounter. I think it is a very a-hole spirit.
Mhm.
I think if you were that way in life, you're that way maybe
We've
in the
said that before
afterlife.
on the
Yeah,
show too. However you are in life is going to be how you are in death. So that's why I said that spirit refers to himself as the devil doesn't mean he's demonic or
right.
anything. It might just be mean.
And then the Masonic messages and meanings that they have included in their language and everything was so secretive that we don't know what all of the messages are unless you are Masonic, a Mason. You really don't know, and then you still can't tell your secrets either. We do know that when we call out to the Order of the Eastern Star, that is for the women, and they also serve there. The women come through, and when Ron calls out to the men, he gets a lot of activity with them in the main ballroom.
Yes.
Amanda, there's 10 of them. There's 10 of them that are coming right right here. There's 10 of them
She's
here.
Irene's a clairvoyant.
Yeah, I watch you guys
Yeah,
sometimes.
like, just in case you didn't know, that's
The guy the guy that's not liked, he used to beat up other people. He was a jerk in the living. He's a jerk in the dead. He used to steal people's money too. And he was a bouncer one time in his lifetime. So that's why he controls the other people. The the ladies said that I don't know if you want to hear this. Do you want to hear this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm writing it down too.
Do we need to say trigger warning, Irene?
Yeah.
Okay, trigger warning, anyone who's watching.
He liked to rape women.
Mhm.
So if one of them got pregnant, you know what he did to the kid, right?
Mm.
Fourth. That's why you see a lot of kids there. He liked to have his way with the women, whether obviously they didn't like it. So he used to, if they got pregnant and if they had a kid, well, he'd get rid of it because he didn't think that they belonged there, and it's not the place for kids. You're gonna find maybe 4 or 5 of them there, mixture of boys and girls. He didn't tell what happened to the bodies, so he probably buried them around the temple on the grounds. The women, he liked raping them like really bad. Yeah. She's saying, "Oh, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it," because he's gonna hear me. He's gonna hear you, and he's gonna be really nasty to you. No, he's not gonna be nasty to me because I'm stronger than him. He can't touch me. I've got a force field around me. He can't touch me. He can't come in my home either. Who else am I seeing? The guys were afraid of him because he could do whatever he want, and that's why he controls all the people all the dead spirits. The grounds from the Native American ground souls are trying to protect the temple, are trying to protect the grounds from him, trying to soil the ground. So they're trying to stop him from doing that. So if you ask the Indian spirits to help you, to protect you before you go in the temple, they will do that. Um, yeah, the Indian spirits are coming at me too, telling me things that he's a real bad, evil individual, and watch out physically from him because he will lash out at you, and he doesn't care. Hmm. I have to come out of it. Sorry,
No,
I can't
I just
stay in
want
it
to
too
tell
long.
you, I want to tell you things that you said, how they've related to things that we found out to validate you.
Okay.
So, the lots of kids, the last time we were there, we were given several. That was the first time we ever started getting children coming through, and
Hmm.
we were getting lots of kids coming through. And there was like a little girl named Emma that was coming through. I
Hmm.
forget the boys' names. Um, the pregnant,
Hmm.
um, and the Brittany, well, he thinks it was Brittany saying this woman kept talking about being pregnant and wanting to have a baby. So there is a spirit there that talks about having babies and getting pregnant. So that is, I'm all shaken because that, like, that kind of, some of that was weird. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I get that. People do that. People say that to me quite often.
Yeah.
Because
Um,
I, I find the dark side of it also. I find the you see, for me, if you have to have light, you have to have dark, and so they
yeah,
go together as in tune. So the dark side comes out a lot. Especially, I can see what happened to the kids, and I'm not going to tell you what happened to them because you
right.
don't.
We had we had theories too. There, I think most of the things happen like in the basement.
Hmm.
We had gotten the weirdest EVP down there of a pig, and we were couldn't find the revel um couldn't find a link to why we would find a pig oink in the basement, just running a recorder while we left the building. And we do that every time. We'll leave it
Have
running,
you ever heard
leave.
of incubus and a succubus?
Yes,
There,
that's
you.
what
There's your answer. There's your answer right there.
I said
So
that to the owner. I
it's a
said, I think that
shapeshifter.
there's,
Um, it's a when there's when there's bad and evil, you'll find that it draws that kind of energy in it. So you'll find the pig could it could change any figure, any form that it wants.
mm-hmm,
So that's what you have in the basement.
Hmm.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh
We,
yeah.
we have noticed some things that we think that there could have been. I mean, we're going to find it. I mean, we are working with the owner to find out some different secrets and stuff. We're looking for something. Matt thinks that there's a hidden ring. We are bringing our metal detectors out there. Like, we are really just searching for whatever the spirits are telling us to look for. But then you feel like that they don't want us looking either. And
Uh,
I kept saying, I feel like something is just hidden down here.
the four corners, the north, south, east, west, the four corners of the place is where they'll hide something outside. On the four corners, you'll find it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, be prepared because the Indian spirits will say you can't dig it up. If you do dig it up, bad things will happen. Leave it.
Okay.
Um, it is anything that's like that is usually embedded in the four corners of the building.
Yeah. I've
So
heard that Masons would like put something in a cornerstone
yeah,
and that would fit like different time periods. But the amount of people that even travel through, I was thinking there had to have been an open portal here, which it wouldn't surprise me because I'm just, the amount of activity here is just, it's insane. We're actually going to be doing our own little, well, we've been documenting a lot, and we're going to be doing a documentary about the Masonic Lodge. So we're like, it's just someplace it's a crazy experience. I mean, and every person has their own experience there also, wouldn't
the
you say, Ron?
owner will tell you freely what happened. They have no qualms about it. The owners, the man and wife who died,
Mhm.
they could tell you more than the others will, because the others won't, because they're afraid of the
The
nasty
one.
dead spirit.
Mhm.
They're afraid of him, what he would do to them and make their life a living hell and death. So the owners of the lodge back then, who died, who were in the grave, you could go to their grave and they'll tell you, yeah, okay, you're coming.
Hmm.
Second.
Is it from the original site though, Irene? Because this was relocated at one point.
Well, it comes with it.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter.
So when it was relocated, that's when it served as a lodge. So I think they just built it there to move it. And that would have been a far move at that time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been,
But I
especially in
can't
what was
find
it,
any
1800s?
history. Yeah, 1854. And then to move it, um, well, 1848 is when they built it and then moved it 8 years later.
From
Why am
Pittsburgh,
I
which is
getting?
about 7 miles down the road, I think.
Yeah, I knew it was relocated, but I wasn't sure how far that was from where it
Mm.
was, where it is now.
Why am I getting this soldier comes in? Man, he's coming in strong like you wouldn't believe. Crazy soldier. What the
We,
heck do you? What do you want me to tell them? You better tell me now, because I'm not gonna. We're not gonna stay on this very long. You better tell me now. Yeah, I'm not gonna use those words. Oh no, he's using the. He's got a potty mouth.
They
He,
also, the lodge, they
he.
cuss so bad.
Uh-huh.
You showed me a video of a whole sentence and someone was swearing.
Oh yeah, I've been told to blank off. I've been told to do everything like you don't believe. My ears are already in tune. They're like, oh yeah, I hear you. Blah blah blah. That's what I say.
So
Ooh,
the more
he.
we've been going there, the more they know us. They say Ron's first and last name.
Yeah.
He's never told them his last name.
Mm.
I never use my name on any investigation. When I
Yeah.
introduce myself to the spirits, I'll ask them their name. I'll tell them my name is Ron, and that's as far as that goes. And then we were doing an Estes session one night, and Dawn says, they're saying your name. And I said, well, they say my name all the time. She says, no, they said your last name. And she heard it twice. And I said, no, no way. She said, here, listen. And so I started doing my own session with the Estes method. And sure enough, I heard it clear as day. You know,
You
it
can't
was nuts.
find the dead. You know that, right? They
Mm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
They even know if you have an illness. They even know if you smoke. They even know if you drink alcohol. They know everything. So if you're trying to hide something, good luck, because it's gonna come out whether you like it or not.
Hmm.
Ever since the eclipse happened, Mike said that two new spirits have joined and have been really active. He said they refer to himself as the One and the Owl. They're both evil because they're threatening to unalive him all the time. And they're working with Brittany too.
I've only communicated with Brittany twice. She only comes out mostly to Matt, and it's like a treat if we get her to come through. So we actually got her name with her saying her name to us at Matt's desk. And we heard her like in a sentence at the door saying, "Is anyone there?" Um, The one, I don't know if I've actually got like his voice because there's so many. All of them are a-holes. Every single one of them. None of them are nice, but during that time period, men weren't nice. I mean, they were all kind of, um, I can't tell which one is the one, and I haven't talked to the new one yet, but I know the night of the eclipse, it was crazy because we were there on a solar eclipse and it got crazy. And it was the only time we ever left in the middle of the night to go back to Michigan. So,
That was the lunar eclipse.
yeah.
Yeah. The
But
last
I'm
one
just
we
saying,
had.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of things affect this lodge. Like just different things that we're noticing because it's so brand new and nobody's ever documented.
Yeah.
So,
That's why I was happy to find you guys to help him out too.
oh yeah, it became like our baby project now. Like we can't find out enough for him. It's like such a pleasure to be able to work here with these spirits, trying to find out which one, sorry, which one is which and who's good, who's not, who is the one, what is the history, why are they there?
Hmm.
And it,
If you go back, there's one man who's willing to talk to you. He
is it
just
Joseph? What's his Joseph's dad's name?
he just said James, but I think it's different.
Is James the one that likes to beat people up and have his way with women? No?
Mm.
Okay.
James is a different guy. He was very quiet. He didn't do very much. He tried to stay under the radar a lot. He didn't want to make waves. He didn't. He did it what he was told to, and yeah, he went like this. You know what I mean, right? That's what happened to him.
Oh,
He
okay.
he was the only one that was really quiet. If you can get him, he came to me. I didn't go to him. He came to me. He said, "I'll talk to them if they want
Okay.
me to." But you know, they will not talk to you unless you give them permission to talk to them. If you knew that, right?
Okay, yeah.
You have to get permission to talk to you. Because if you don't give them permission, they're not going to talk to you willingly.
Okay.
Spirits are really weird. They're
Now,
very reserved.
Spencer Hart, he was the longest reigning Mason in history in the United States at that time. He was 100 years old when he passed, had the full Masonic um, honors and everything from this lodge. We're always trying to find out any information on him that we can. We were wondering if, like, I know that he got to one of the higher degrees, was he not, Ron?
Yeah, he was a master mason.
Okay, so he was at the 33rd degree.
Correct.
So he would have ran that lodge. And I always wonder if it's like him being the one that would be so upset or Joseph, the original one, or John.
Joseph told me that he's crossed over. He only comes through every once in a while.
Yeah, I bring him flowers to his grave.
He's kind of
I just got a connection with them.
He's at peace. He said, I had a life there. I'm fine. And it's funny, he said, I don't want to be bothered.
Okay.
I don't want it bothering me, and I don't want it to bother me, and I don't want others to bother me with it.
Okay.
We won't.
So he just
We
said, I'm
found his grave. We brought him and his wife flowers.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, he said, thank you for the flowers. He said,
there was only like maybe 20 graves, and it was really hard to find. It doesn't look like a cemetery. They built houses all around it. And
oh
I was like,
gosh.
well, that just didn't seem like the best spot for them. It just
No.
felt like they should have had something more.
Yeah. They said back then that's what they did, right?
Yeah, I mean, the stones next to him just say, one says AB and one says two other letters. I can't remember, but like they don't even have names. They just, it looked like they were carved long time ago, and that was it.
You're lucky you got that.
Yeah.
Mm. The nasty guy just came through. I'm laughing because he's just full of hot air. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. We're all strong people here. That's not gonna happen. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I'm laughing at him. He's kind of like he's worried why I'm laughing at him. Well, that's what you're gonna have to do is laugh at him when he comes out and threatens you. Go, that's the best you can do, because he just does this whenever I laugh at him, because I think he's ridiculous, and I told him that already.
What is his name?
And I feel like some of the things that Doris had felt before were some of the things that she was expressing a little while ago too, Ron, when she was talking about the children. I meant to say that.
Yeah.
Timothy.
Timothy?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But don't call me by my name, because I'm not going to even talk to you. I'm not going to even tell you. I said, too late. I already know. You see, that's a nonsense that I have to put up with all the time, right?
I love it. I know you would hate it. It's nice for us for a treat.
I'm
I think
glad.
Brittany only talks to Matt though because I think she's in love with Matt because he told me when I was asking about him that when I first talked to him that Brittany has said I love you, Matthew, but then the main guy told her to stop talking to him, so she stopped talking.
Brittany I kept telling Matt to not trust Brittany. I was feeling like she wasn't really Brittany. It was just such an intelligent spirit that it didn't seem like it didn't seem like an old spirit. She seemed like somebody that was newer, but we're not sure. I just feel like she's lying to him and was befriending him. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's what she
He's-
did do.
He's
Was
now referring to her as an evil witch because she's now also working with the two new spirits, and that's when he kind of realized this is an evil witch too.
He had got
You're
afraid
right.
at times to even go in his basement, and his brother was very afraid. And I mean, I've listened to EVPs right before I've gotten there that him and his brother would do. And we would be like, what the heck? And, he's sending them to me while I'm driving. And I'm like, that's wild. But they'll even tell you, like, ghost whisperers are coming. And, like, they're very intelligent there. And they just know. And it's crazy. The more relationship we're getting with these ghosts and finding out, it's always turning into something a little more. We just can't put our finger on it to know the ending yet. But
Can I
I
ask you a
mean,
question?
yeah,
Did the floor have a dirt floor
yeah,
in the basement?
yes. And
Okay, now it all makes sense.
just one little area. And then they have like, so one part of the floor is real smushy. It's supposed to be like cement, but it's very hollow when you stand on it. And then there's an area where some of the brick has came up and it's all dirt right there because I was poking around in that dirt the
Be
last
careful,
2 times.
poke around. You might find some bones in the basement.
Yeah.
Just a
Oh
warning.
no,
Okay?
no, no.
Just a warning.
Yeah.
What if
It's so funny
I'm in
because
the
we were
basement?
saying,
I'm right here in the basement. They said, "Who's I'm? Who are you?" Just saying that I'm in the basement. I go, okay. So that's what I'm telling you. The person who just came out and said to me, I'm in the basement, means that he was buried in the basement.
Okay.
there are some secrets we're keeping about the basement because we're saving them for our little special we're going to be doing. But there are
Okay.
but no, there's like one of these things don't look like the other in the basement that makes me feel like there are some hidden secrets down here. We just have not found them yet. But I think we're about to find something big, I think. And I don't
Yep.
know where it's going to be at, but I really think we are going to uncover something.
If you put the K2 meter on the floor, you might pick up something.
We do, but I always wonder because, it's an appliance store and in the basement when I was digging around on the dirt, I could see like what was it called? Like maybe old copper in the
Yeah.
dirt. Remember how it was sparkly? I told you. Did I
Yeah.
not show it to you?
No, I know what you're talking
Okay.
about. I'm not sure what it was exactly.
But it wasn't from concrete.
No. It
And
was
I
like,
don't know what that was in the dirt.
I don't know.
I'm gonna take a picture Saturday when I go now.
Mm.
Just because it was, maybe I'll take a dirt sample. It was different though, right there.
Mm-hmm. There's lots of secrets in the basement. I'm not going to say it right here on this podcast, but I know a lot of it in the basement.
That's what I think too, is there's a lot going on down there and it is keeping the owner's brother hates the basement. He won't go down there. He refuses. Matt
Yeah.
wouldn't go down there for weeks. He was terrified. I got growled at going to the basement because the basement has a hatch. You got to lift the hatch up and then go down there. So it's kind of scary just thinking the hatch door can trap you down there and nothing you can do. We've
Well,
had like metal plates being thrown on the stairway. We can't explain how they got there. It just happened. We've
yeah.
gotten the weird EVPs down there. We can't explain.
Can I say one thing about the basement?
Oh, yeah.
He used to keep his victims in the basement. Let's put it that way. People who would he'd just find, he'd throw them in the basement until they died.
We were wondering if it was more ritualistic or something. So we were heading down that same road too. We were like,
Mm,
there's something like evil driven to that basement.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm not saying it's devil demon or nothing
No,
like that. I'm not saying
just
nothing like that.
like,
Oh,
there's a
yeah,
difference
the
between
neck.
the dark entity, right? You become a
Yes,
entity if you have done some nasty things to other people. That's where you become, and I think that's what he's become.
I do too.
And he's
It,
not the devil. You have to be kind of like different to be a devil.
we've had like 4 different people go to the basement, and as soon as they stepped off of the stairway, they were instantly hit in the back of the neck. And they
Mm-hmm.
were like, oh, I can't move. I can't go no further. And they wouldn't go no further. They were scared and they said something sharp hit them in the neck. And that
Mm-hmm.
was all on different occasions. I brought these ladies there at different times,
Mm-hmm.
and they all told us the same story
in the same spot.
in the identical spot without any of them knowing about the other one.
Yep.
I had
You bring people in the basement, make sure they're fully grounded, make sure that they are in tune with each other, make sure that they're
chakra
yeah,
grounded inside
yeah.
on.
Because you can't bring anybody there that's not, because he has he will take souls if he wants to. He will kill if he has to. And he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
care. He's got no qualms about who he does it to, and doesn't really care about who it is, or if it's a male or female, if it's a child or if it's anybody else. He doesn't give a rat's about it, okay? So yeah, be careful who you bring in the basement. You can go there, Ron can go there, but he can't.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't.
I
It's
get that.
not a place for individuals say, "Oh, I want to go. Yeah, it's really interesting." No, it's not. Not an
Well, when
interesting.
I heard about the basements, that's where when it was a Masonic lodge, that's where they held their meetings. Because the other team that went out told me when they went to the basements, it was mostly guys and one girl. When the girl was down there, absolutely nothing happened because the Masonic lodge, it was they because that's where they held their meetings. Women were not allowed back then. So they weren't happy the woman was there. So they were not doing anything. They were not communicating, nothing. So she was like, no, no, she's going to go upstairs. They told her she didn't have to. Like, no, I'm just going to go upstairs. As soon as she left the basement, all of a sudden that's when activity picked up.
Mm-hmm.
That's also what
Well,
I was wondering when Dawn was there with her group of women, if you guys got some from the basement, or if it's different, if Ron goes with someone else and it's just him and another guy versus when a girl goes down there.
yeah.
Well, the ballroom is the top floor. I'm not sure what the basement was used for, but the the top floor has the ornate ceiling on it, and it's wide open. I believe
I
that
think that
that
was
is
more ceremonial, and then ritual would have been basement.
Yeah.
right. That's what I
Matt
was going
just
to say.
said meetings were held upstairs. This is the owner, Matt, you guys.
Yeah, I wonder if that was him.
Yes.
Meetings are held
Hi,
upstairs.
Matt.
Hey, man.
So I know when I went to the basement, it's very different than any other floor. I've never had a good experience. The When I went to the basement, I got a growl right at the beginning. When you go down in the basement, when you hit the bottom step there, that's when different people felt like they were getting hit right in the neck. Just about maybe 3 feet in front of that is that little dirt spot. And then as you walk around the basement, I mean, the vibe is so different and scary. But if you go to like the front of the store at that area, that's where we've gotten a few EVPs. And one of our investigators were in the basement at that time. She was just saying, "Can you give me some kind of sign?" And that's when Ron's leg went through a floorboard. So it was like, kind of like it tells you your signs, but not in the way you are expecting it. I am afraid of the basement. I usually will not go down there alone either by myself. It's it's a scarier vibe, and it makes you more curious what is down there. And we keep saying, "Oh, we're gonna sit down there all night this time," but you're so scared you don't want to. You rather sit in the other room where you know they're gonna talk to you anyways. So it's weird.
Behind
It's
the
a different
stairs,
haunting.
it's dangerous behind the stairs. Watch out behind the stairs. They're all saying,
Yes.
watch out behind the stairs. Because behind the stairs in the ground, there are some, you know what.
Yeah.
Got it?
That's
Is there
where
something,
we got
Irene,
that
that you're
peg
picking up?
EVP.
Is there
Hmm?
something in the basement, Irene, that you're picking up that maybe does not like women more than men? If it's not as that this is coming from the other team that was there. It was not active when the female was down there.
There's lots of children who are buried in the basement. Let's put it that way. And if he did something a little bit too hard and she died, she'd be in the basement too. Let's put it that way. He did all these dirty things in the basement.
I believe that. I really do.
Yeah.
And
I feel like some of our investigation has led down that same road,
Yeah.
and that's like a verification to us.
if they survived, they'd be able to. She'd be able to escape it. If she did survive, well, you know where she was, right? Yeah.
Now, I'm trying to figure out if that spirit was the Britney spirit. They're cold or they can't talk loud. See, we only started making contact with the children recently, and it was kind of scary. I know one of the children's name was Benjamin. I remember that name because it
Mm-hmm.
came through to our investigator, Doris, and she felt like an overwhelming crying feeling. Like she was like, I got to take a break for a minute. She just couldn't go on. And that was like upstairs. But in that long hallway, I don't know, that room has a lot of activity too. I
Yeah.
call it the long hallway, but I mean, me and Ron, there'll be all four of us just sitting there, and you hear a woman screaming, or you'll hear knocking on the door, and there's nobody there. Or every single piece of equipment you have goes off at the same time. It's wild. Full sentences of intelligence. I mean, they will cuss you out in a full sentence.
Yeah.
They
You,
did your first time you went there. That's
They did.
that's like guy.
That's what I think grabbed my attention. I
Yeah.
turned on this beautiful cranked music box, record player in the ballroom area, and I let the record play like, for a little bit, and I said, "Do you like the music that I'm playing?" And it said, "No, shut the F up,
you
you
sent me that. That's crazy.
FD." It was a whole sentence like that. Then right after that, you heard like a ring ring, like bells ringing almost, like a ding ding thing. So we Ron went and got a bell so we can see if they'll start playing with the bell. I mean, there's no electricity upstairs, but you can run the um K2 meter anywhere up there, and it's just going crazy. We do use the Ouija board, and the Ouija
Mhm.
board will, you know, with love and light, nothing dark and, but I mean, we've talked to a lot of people and use our spirit box and got to know a lot of these spirits coming through where
Mhm.
we can recognize who we're talking to now.
I
So
know what happened.
I asked Matt to drop his TikTok name for anyone who wants to reach out and try and go here, just because
Mhm.
I'm not going to post any other personal information of his on
Yeah.
the internet. But he
Right.
said it's haunted under Masonic under Lodge 66. You could go there and message him if you want to reach out and try and get with him about trying to go there.
Brittany, do you want to know what happened to her?
Mm-hmm.
She's showing me what happened to her. It ain't nice. That's for damn sure. You know what comes out of the body, right?
Yeah.
Red stuff. That's what happened to her. And that's how she died.
Hmm.
Orifice that it came out of was down below. She
Why is
bled.
she so obsessive though? Like she is literally obsessed with Matt, where she won't talk to nobody but Matt. And if and she does say Matt's name a lot. I've heard the recordings. She says, I love you. She will say she wants to marry him. I mean, it's like an obsession.
Matt, you're right. Because she was raped when she was very young. And she got this really warped idea that she needs a guy
Yeah.
for anything, for everything. That's why she's so obsessed with guys.
Does Matt
Mhm.
remind her of someone? Because you have people like Ron going there, and I don't think she's obsessed with
Well,
Ron. I would say yet.
she says Matthew all the time. You're cute. Like we get that on our spirit, recordings, and Matt has never investigated with us.
Yeah, it's. I'd be careful if I were him because she wants to do this to him, right? Because she thinks she's still alive.
Hmm.
She thinks she's still alive.
Yeah, she doesn't recognize he's dead. A lot of times you get that with young people.
Yeah,
She died kind of young, you know that?
that's what well, we looked up her name and we know that it became it came out like in the 60s and became more popular in the 70s. So I'm like, oh, she's a newer kind of spirit for sure. And that's why she's so hip to the language with him. And
I have a feeling she's 11 or 12 years old.
20 years old she passed. She told Matt she was born in 1915 and passed in 1935, so
I
about
wish
20
we
years
could
old.
find her. I would love to. I'd love to show her where she's laying in rest,
Mm.
resting. But we've had spirits tell us, I can't find my resting place. I can't find my grave. I, and then I'm like, well, if you tell me who you are, maybe we can show you. I, yeah. And she won't really talk to nobody but Matt. She is very particular and possessive. Like I said,
You,
I've only talked to her twice. and
Irene, do
that's
you
out of
think
like,
she could potentially hurt Matt's wife being jealous?
She's kind of, yeah. She wants to be with him so bad you wouldn't believe it.
Hmm.
She's now don't tell me anything about my guy. She's calling him her guy now. She says she
hmm
calls him her boyfriend.
hmm
Hmm.
I can
Uh
almost see that.
she's she's got a mind like a child, but her body is like an adult. If you understand what I mean.
I do.
She she thinks she thinks boy like her kind of like just like her kind of like thinking is that boys are cute and that she could you know go down to the go down to the um forest, go down to the trees where nobody could find him and make out with him.
Right.
That's her kind of level thinking is like, right? So uh if you want to find out more, ask Matt to give Matt the questions to make sure you're around so you can help him in case something happens.
Right.
You have to make sure that you get the answers. And they said, thank you very much, Brittany. Okay.
hmm
Um, Matt, I think do kind of like a cleansing on Matt, and then let make sure he goes because she's gonna follow him, or he could be a very good attachment. Okay, that's what I'm trying to pick out
I
the
see
word.
that.
So she could be attachment to him. So he has to be very careful and if once you have Matt talk to her, cleanse Matt, and then make him leave if you can do that.
We
If
could
she,
do that if
yeah.
Matt is comfortable with that.
Or just say you want some questions cleared up. And then there's no reason why, and just that's all you want. It's just some answers to some questions, okay? And she has a lot to say, but she's not gonna tell you guys. She's just, I'm leaving it for my boyfriend Matt. She's doing like this.
hmm
She's like this with he's mine. That's what
Yeah,
she's
she's it's weird.
yeah. Oh, and
It's weird that every time, like, you just don't know what you're getting, but
mm-hmm,
you're always getting something so intelligent
mm-hmm.
and so smart that it will do what you want on command.
There's one way you could do that, right? Matt, if you're listening, bring a pink flower for her, put it on whatever and says this is for you. Can you help me with some questions I want to know? That's a really good way to get it
Matt
going.
did have a bouquet of flowers upstairs for Brittany already that he had put there.
Hmm.
Are those from you, Matt, or was it another woman? I know that you've put flowers up there and gifts up there before for Brittany, and
But she
he
said
has a Masonic coin. And
she
when I went to go put it downstairs, it told me to put it back. It told me put it down
yeah,
and don't move it. Like they're
don't touch it.
possessive over
Don't
their items.
pink flower. She said I want a pink flower from Matt. That's what she's
Pink
doing.
flowers from Matt.
Yeah, but Matt, be very careful. Um, because she could be an attachment to you, and you don't want that
That's
coming
what I'm.
home with you, right?
I
Because she's
feel like Brittany has followed him before,
uh-huh.
and I wouldn't want that to he's got the new baby at home and he has another child at home too. with his wife, and
One thing that she has to be careful, because he has a baby and she's going to get really jealous of that baby.
mhm, yeah,
Just saying, okay?
yeah.
This is just warning from me.
I'm gonna bring you a brand new sage, Matt, just
Yeah,
for you for at home.
Are
yeah.
you also, Irene, thinking that he needs black salt or sea salt in his windows and doors?
Yeah,
I got that too. I can bring you.
yeah. Black salt or sea salt doesn't matter.
And doors and windows of your home, so
I
Yeah,
got
keep
some
them
black
out.
salt too.
yeah.
Just I'll bring it
Doors,
for Matt.
windows, and go all the way around the property. Okay, go all the way around the property. And if you're gonna do mat counterclockwise. This way, you're bringing them in the body. This way, you're removing them from the body.
Do you feel like they have any connections with Ron and I from going so much?
Not really.
No. Okay.
No, because you guys just too strong. You have
Mm,
a really strong um image, so they know who they can play with, and they know who they can't play with.
mhm.
You won't allow them. You have your boundaries, right?
Yeah.
You created boundaries, both of you, right? And that's what Matt needs to work on, boundaries.
Yeah.
You have
I
to teach that, okay? Because he needs to work on boundaries.
I think it controls people's emotions. I
Mm-hmm.
think it affects
Oh,
people differently there. I
mm-hmm.
know it's affected different people on our team and
Yeah.
negative and positive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do feel like I had something jump me in there before where I
Mm-hmm.
screamed out something that I would have never. It was just something so odd, and I was like, "Why did I say that? I didn't mean to say that." And it was just oddball for me to say. It was something about holy water to one of my teammates, and I'm like, I would never mock you about holy water. Or I'm like, do you have holy water? Put some holy water on me. So then I was freaking out and shaking hysterically. But yeah, I do believe that they are strong enough to manipulate not only
Mm-hmm.
your equipment, but the people there.
Mm-hmm. Because you know what, my phone's getting really hot now, and I've got only half batteries left.
No,
So that's why I'm doing this to get out of my
yeah, coming through.
Amanda. If I junk out, you know what's gonna happen, right?
We're so used to it with her that anytime she talks with a paranormal, her equipment malfunctions. But it's what happens when you're gifted is
Yeah,
batteries go out on you soon. Like I can't even with the electronics, phones, she can't wear a watch.
No.
With my phone, because I can sense spirits not as well as Irene can, but for me, I'll get a brand new phone, and I might get a brand new phone the same as one of my friends, and they'll use it more than me. But my battery always drains a lot faster than theirs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's interesting.
Someone else said that too, who said that yeah, when you gifted, you just drain batteries too.
Yeah. And you know what? They're the ones from the temple are all around me right now. Like they're in a half circle. They're all telling me all kinds of stuff right now. After this, I'm gonna have to make them go away because I don't allow them to stick around. It's just something that I do. Like I deal with a lot of them that
I would
come in.
I would
around
love to have you on a FaceTime there with me, Irene.
there.
I would love to have you walk through there with me.
I'll do that.
Oh, I'm going there Saturday. I mean, I would love to have you come on. It would be my pleasure.
No problem.
We haven't had no psychics like go through or anything. I'm
Oh,
curious about
you know,
open portals there. I have my ideas where I think they might be at,
yeah.
but
There's
I would
one.
like to have that verification.
There's one outside. There's one in that hallway that you're talking about, right? There's one in the basement,
Listen, there's
and
definitely
there's
one
one
face.
upstairs in the ballroom. For sure. For the ones that I saw, right? Because I'm walking through that place right now. I can walk through it. I don't have to be there. I just have to walk through it. I can see where it is. Ugh. You don't want to have this kind of no. This is the most horrible gift that in the whole wide world. Sometimes I wish I didn't have it.
I know. It's got to
I've
be overwhelming.
I've occasionally seen some. Usually I can feel it and hear it. I've occasionally seen some, and the some I've seen is not pleasant looking.
Uh-uh.
Because I might see them like how they pass, and if it was an accident and that's what I see,
Mm,
Mm,
like I saw one person who
yeah.
died in a car accident, and they were smashed and mangled, and I saw them on the side of the road. I slammed my brakes because I saw them clear, and it took
Yeah.
me a second to realize they're not physically there. Luckily, there's no one behind me on the road. The road was empty.
Yeah.
hmm
Oh,
Wow.
I see ambulances too. I know what's in the ambulance. I know if they're gonna live. I know if they're gonna die. Yeah, I don't like this. Mm-mm. This is not what I bargained for, right?
Yeah, and we were tossing around the ideal of maybe something interdimensional. This is where Matt is going with this, with the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not convinced, Matt's not convinced that there isn't something more interdimensional with these portals open there coming through. I'm just saying it's a possibility there because,
Well, they come in and out whenever they want to, right?
yeah,
And they know you from who you are. They already pegged you already, so yeah. They
I
already
mean,
picked Ron so well, you wouldn't believe it. They
Are
got
you
your number
are you
just be
seeing something with large, massive eyes there, Irene?
yeah. I'm not gonna tell you where because I can see it and I don't like it.
Basement.
See, my cat's crying. He
and
knows it.
that's hitting on it because some eyes are coming from the basement, out of the basement, and that's where everything is. He's talking about a picture that he got of the room coming from the basement to going towards him. It's like another room coming towards him. He took that picture of it coming from the basement to the room.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I'm not convinced that I believe in all things paranormal. I believe in alien,
Mm-hmm.
Bigfoot. I believe in interdimensional beings. And I think that there is so much of a haunting and so many different kinds of hauntings. I know I haven't experienced at other places. Nor a normal haunting is usually the same kind.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna just have a little variation from it at
Mm-hmm.
that same place, but this is a place every time I go, it's something different. It's not like I'm expecting. I would say, oh, well, we can expect some doors to be slamming tonight, and then instead of that, we might have something totally more wild and crazy. like our planchette on the Ouija board just flipping, or a door opening in front of you and somebody being pushed or shoved down or something like that, or the spirits asking us, are we okay when we get hurt? So, I mean, it is really great and
That
wild.
bad spirit doesn't like crucifix. So if you carry crucifix in your pocket,
That was the day we were gifted. Do you have yours nearby, Ron? We were gifted these wooden
Oh, yeah.
crucifixes
Be right back.
from a woman that lives all the way across the country, mailed them from Baltimore, Maryland to us and our team. And we all been carrying them on us, and we carry them to the lodge with us. So when you said that, yes, we all been wearing our crucifix, but they're all matching. And it was made by this 90-year-old man that is a neighbor of our friend, and this is what every single one of us have been wearing.
see, that's getting really creepy. This conversation, isn't it?
I mean, I mean, we're pointing on some stuff. I mean, it's verification, and I love it.
The reason why
I
I know
love
it's
it.
getting creepy because this cat's sitting in front of me.
That's a
He's
paranormal cat.
telling me that he sees it. He's telling me
Look at.
okay, come and help me, okay? I know you can help me. Dang it. Yeah. This conversation is going sideways, right?
Crucifix cross.
This conversation is going sideways. You notice that? Yeah, don't tell anybody that we do this. It's gonna freak them out, right?
Hello. Yeah, I mean, there was no way for you to know that we all carried these brand new crucifixes with us. We've only been doing it since we got them when we went to a place called Father John's, and we've been using them ever since. And that was in March, and that's when some crazy stuff started happening with our team too. And it's pushed us to keep going and further our research there, because every time we go, we find out so much more. I mean, I have a whole notebook just on this one location because there's so plentiful information to be told from here. And it's such a great location, such an interesting place with the greatest ghosts. I mean, I've never had these kind of encounters anywhere else. And if you follow me on Facebook, you see I'm going somewhere every week. And this is my favorite place. I call it my home base. I have the truest love for the lodge. I mean, it's like my baby. I just absolutely adore it to death. And I adore Matt and Austin, his wife. They are so good to us there. And he shares all of his information. If something pops up during the week while he's just sitting at the desk, he'll film it or text me and be like, hey, Dawn or Ron, I just got this. What do you guys think? Or you guys got to see this. They know you're coming out. They're just now saying your names. Listen to this. So it's always some great stuff.
Matt, if you're hearing me, if you're still watching this, I want you to carry a bag of salt in your pocket, just in case. You see,
Sea salt or black salt, please.
any one of those two. In Japan, salt is a protection. It's a mild protection, but it works whenever you go, whenever you talk, whenever you go to a place like that, you should carry sea salt or black salt in your pocket. Um, put it in a little bag. Doesn't matter. Can be uh, uh a glad wrap or anything like that. Put it in your pocket and leave it in your pocket, your pants pocket, when you go in a place like that, because Brittany
I
can
got
be
some
really possessive.
protection zones and salt
Yeah,
here.
Brittany
I'll bring you,
can be
Matt.
really possessive.
Oh, can't see.
So
But
he could even put it in a sandwich bag, or even in a plastic wrap, and stick it in his pocket.
yeah,
When he leaves, he takes up the salt, puts it on his body, as is it's really Japanese way of purification. We do that after we go to a funeral, so we never go in our whole house without cleansing ourselves. Then we can go in our house. But I mean, he has to do that, especially with a baby.
hmm
My Japanese spirit guides are telling me this. Just
okay,
be careful. He has to be careful. You guys are okay. It's just him.
okay.
So Matt, hear me, and don't say, "Oh well, I don't need." Yes,
I
he do.
know.
Yes, he does.
I could see him saying that right now
He
too.
said, "Nah." I said, "Well, yeah, you want to say nah?"
Bringing them this
That's
black
all I'm
salt.
saying.
I got a
Oh,
baggie of this and a
yeah,
jar of some
yeah.
sea
I can
salt, and
see
I
him.
got some pink
I can
sea
see him
salt.
saying, "Yeah, whatever.
Himalayan.
Yeah, nothing can harm me." I mean, it's not you. It's to protect the children that you have at home.
Yeah,
That's what you need it for. It's
yeah.
basically protect them from them. That's what I'm saying.
Right, right.
Yeah. You have, it's not always between you and them, it's always between who else that you have with you that needs to be protected from them.
hmm
I think you know that, right?
hmm
Yeah.
Yes.
It just seems like
It's
uh,
just, it was good. It was good.
yeah. mm. Amanda, I
People
gotta
don't understand
That's
how
what I was
much
gonna
you hit
say.
on.
Irene has an appointment to get to, so this is all the time we have today. But we will definitely invite Dawn and Ron back to talk about what's going on new. I'm sure there's going to be new stuff next time they're back on the
Oh,
show
yeah.
with the Masonic Lodge and other investigations they've done. Because it's not the only place they've investigated. They've investigated many places before. Because I've been in their lives, I've seen their photos, watched their videos. So they've been to a lot of different places. So
Yeah. This is just one of
maybe if you guys are
hundreds.
okay with it, maybe you guys are okay with it. Sometimes we'll go live here with you in the
Oh,
lodge
yeah.
and show everyone. And
let's do that.
Irene can tell you what she sees live there too.
I
I'm being
love that.
protective. I got a Buddha in here.
Oh, I love
Nice.
that.
It's a
Awesome.
big one on my back too.
Here,
I
I'm
don't keep
sitting with an electric chair on my shirt.
back too.
Just the opposite.
But
I
thank
would
you
love for you
everyone.
guys if you would want to go on Saturday with me.
I
I'll
was gonna
be out
say, I'm
there.
like, if you guys want us sometime when you're in the lodge, we'd love to be able to go in there
Yeah.
virtually with you guys, and you can show everyone, and everyone can see it.
Absolutely. We'll
Awesome.
set that up.
Irene
Yeah.
can. Hopefully, Irene is nice and grounded Saturday night or Sunday for us.
Oh, you know what? I spend 3 days meditating before I do anything crazy or stupid because I know I'm gonna need it.
It'll be wild. You'll be like, whoa.
Oh, just a second.
All right. And thank you everyone for joining us,
Closing
and
the.
we'll see you next time.
Thank
Bye
you.
for now.
I
Bye.
just closed the portal. Bye bye.